Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans.
After Karoline Leavitt's most recent legal bombshell on The View, the studio is in complete disarray. How quickly Whoopi Joy shouted, the producers are frantically trying to figure out how to hire a lawyer as fast as possible because this isn't just another lawsuit. And Sunny is looking for emergency exits. In any case, is this the second season of litigation and lattes, or is Karoline turning it into a sport? Popcorn sales at courthouse have recently reached an all-time high. Hold on tight. This legal dispute will become more obscene than a live microphone malfunction.
Women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American.
Viewers couldn't tell the difference between a talk show and an emergency broadcast because these women are so disconnected from reality. But the internet seized the opportunity, and in a matter of minutes, TikTok investigators were already examining the lawsuit as though it were the lost episode of the noon version of Law and Order. And View memes were going viral on Twitter, X, or whatever. In fact, ABC has to wake up because they just spent $15 million on President Trump's future library, which is good for the American people.
Harris's supporters and members of the liberal media, they're apparently shattered and in disbelief over Trump's win. Here is some of that reaction.
As we mentioned earlier, Harris's supporters and the left-leaning media were obviously taken aback by Trump's win. This is part of that reaction, but Karoline remained composed and was legally restrained. Rather than simply bringing a lawsuit, she told The View that they had already seen drama and would soon see what true chaos looks like. Like celebrity Twitter meltdowns or pumpkin spice lattes, Karoline's lawsuit against The View is now becoming a recurring event.
Really had much to say until he started running for president. Then I could say everything I needed to say.
Therefore, be ready for a courtroom spectacle as well as anything from media bias to slander in this case. However, this reunion is far more chaotic, sexier, and full of drama than a reality TV reunion. What is her most recent beef? According to The Viewpoint, it was most likely Whoopi's sigh, Joy's eye roll, and some subpar legal reasoning. When they said something live on TV that annoyed Karoline, it sent her straight to her lawyer's office. Karoline is fed up with the presenter's constant rambling on what she feels are false, damaging, and utterly irresponsible statements.
Of the aisle, I'll also say that if you talk to analysts of debates previous, that if you're attacking the moderators, you're usually losing. What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper Donald Trump to see that Jake Tapper has consistently
stop this interview if you're going to keep attacking my colleagues. Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe.
The key question at this point is whether Karoline is determined to hold the media accountable or if she is just enjoying the attention. She has already filed a lawsuit against them for deception and bias in the media. She has come back for the second round, and this time she has raised the stakes. She has charged them with disseminating flagrant falsehoods about her political views, professional background, and credibility assertions, alleging that they are not just false but willfully misleading. If she wins, let's just say the apology tour could need a new moniker. The world is talking about her, anyway, and let's face it, how often has a courtroom drama garnered this much attention? She is transforming instances into theatrical productions. Some people believe that art.
And whether he believes, I know you, Joy, stop that. You know, stop it. I'm looking at. No, I know, but I can see you, and I know that you want to get in here, and you know I'll always make sure that you do.
Yeah.
I watch the clock. Yeah. Well, like me, I watch the clock every day, but I'm going to finish this because it's one of the few times.
She wants justice, retribution, or simply more primetime exposure, and that much is evident. Experts who have researched previous discussions will tell you that pointing fingers at the moderators usually means you lost. However, what do you think Joe Biden will do? Karoline Leavitt is making it clear that the Viewpoint will no longer be free to express itself, and that if they do well in court, she will see them again. To begin with, It would take someone around 5 minutes to Google Tapper and Donald Trump in order to expose Tapper's obvious bias. What happened when the media took notice of Karoline's case? The Vista became a complete disaster area. Although no one knew, Whoopi Goldberg, who was normally as cool as a cucumber, was obviously worried about this judicial circus coming to town. She was adjusting her spectacles, letting out a big sigh, and staring straight into the camera as she took in the mayhem in real time, as if mentally prepared for combat. Would she throw a chair or drop wisdom? Oh great, another lawsuit, Behar said, leaning back and laughing when the complaint was brought up. She handled everything with her happy flair. Should I start deducting legal psychological fees from my taxes? Joy giggled her way through the fire, scared inside.
I think she hates him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all
That's a
agree on
given.
that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
They agree with you.
She doesn't want to be the first lady. She destroyed the Rose Garden. Who hates Christmas? Melania Trump hates Christmas. She doesn't want to decorate for Christmas. She doesn't want
care.
anything
She
to
doesn't
do with
care
him.
about that.
She doesn't want to sleep in the same room with him. She can't tolerate him.
Allegedly.
And she does.
Yeah, how do you know all this?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know all this.
Allegedly.
Sonny
Meanwhile,
Horton, the group's resident lawyer, appeared to have returned to court before the matter even made it to their desks. As she started looking into potential defenses and preparing her closing argument, you could hear her mind switching into legal gear. Let's face it, as soon as the news leaked on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, the internet was already in flames. In addition to watching, viewers were dissecting memes and buying popcorn in anticipation of the eventual fallout faces that were slapped over popular memes. The producers, of course, were scurrying around the control room like headless chickens, one yelling directions into a headset, another checking Twitter to see how far the social media fire had spread, and a third, most likely on hold with legal, pleading for a miracle.
Transparency and access. And while we will expose the fake news when they are fake, we will hold them accountable for their lies and smears of
When HR asks for authorization to speak. When you know you're about to say anything, you caption a blank look photo with a joyful grin. In addition to reacting rashly, social media was taking in the drama. The hosts took turns mocking the late-night comedians' rants and the absurdity of the courtroom sketch comedy. Is the Vista now a daytime soap opera? Perhaps the next season of Law and Order discussion show should be called Law and Order Edition.
Dishonest media elite will no longer decide who gets a seat. Our video of the day comes to us from White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, who is shaken up. Who gets to ask questions of the press? Roll it, Helga.
For decades, a group of DC-based journalists, the White House Correspondents Association, has long dictated which journalists get to ask questions of the President of the United States. Not anymore. We are going to give them...
But let's be honest, is this a clever marketing ploy? Or is Karoline revealing bias in the media? Political analysts disagree on conspiracy ideas, but one thing is for sure. No one is able to stop watching the drama since it has become increasingly dramatic. What will happen, other from watching TV during the day, when the drama of the courtroom takes over from the mayhem of social media? As opposed to a reality star with a bad contract? Will the people give in to pressure from the law sooner or later? Will they attempt to conceal this by suggesting that politicians can sue talk shows to silence them? Or will the media enter a new era of lawsuits where any guest not happy with their piece simply calls a lawyer?
prepare for a moment like that. First of all, I look forward to it, and I relish the opportunity to bring the truth and the facts to the podium. And unfortunately, the mainstream media has been blinded by this bias, this anti-Trump bias. And it's actually quite sad because rather than dealing with people who are truly interested in journalistic integrity and finding out the truths and the facts, they're coming into that room with a preconceived narrative and bias. The president speaks the truth. He speaks his mind directly. It's just my job to prepare and figure out what the truth is.
There is no doubt that this is about more than the point of view. It's also about the future of unscripted television. In the event that the case spirals out of control, let's just assume that popcorn sales will soar. Let's just say that if the case gets out of hand, popcorn sales will soar, and if Karoline wins, it could establish a precedent for the way politicians use the media.